Howdy Shasta College, Humanities 2. It is March 1st. We're on our way to actual spring, although it seems like spring's here early. Not a good sign for the coming months of drought. Anyway, hope you guys are all doing well. Hope your essays are coming through. Um, Make sure your essays are in the MLA style. I mean, it's just the basic style that most English papers are written in. If you don't know what it is, you might have to Google it. It's standard. Make sure everything's double spaced. Make sure you have at least 3 pages. Indicated 3 to 5 pages. Don't go over five. You know, writing papers to specific amounts of pages is just as important as the paper itself. It's a discipline. And so when I give you these topics like Martin Luther, and this week your second essay will be on Shakespeare, uh, thousands of pages have been written. Surely you could come up with three. And if you ever need help pushing forward, just look at another aspect of their life, their death, their art. I'm really trying to find out why they mattered. Why does Martin Luther matter? Not when he was born or when he died, because we all are born, we all are dying, um, but we all don't really matter to the culture. Um, we'd like to think we do, but unless we've done something like these men did, that books have been written about, we haven't made the grade yet. Anyway, my point is, why do they matter? What made them so important in their time, but also how it reflects the time that they're living in and how they mirrored that time. And by writing about it or doing something about it, whether it was painting or composing music or writing a play, it changed the culture. That's how important these folks are to our culture that we're still dealing with today. Um, you should have the textbook by now. If you don't have the textbook, it's the text just goes into deeper than what I'm saying. It explains things in deeper, and it might help you when we do have a quiz. Um, I hope you're keeping up in your journal reflection, your portfolio, if you want to call it that. It should be. I will post a sample of it on announcements. You'll see what I'm looking for. Um, each week you should have a weekly journal. What you read, what you saw, what you learned, my lectures, and what you got out of it. It lets me know you were involved in the class. It's part of your participation. Not due to the very last week of school. Put it in a file and upload it the last week when it's due. It's not due yet. Um, but you should keep it, and don't think you're just going to remember it all at the end of the 4 weeks, or I should say 4 months, because you won't. And if you miss some sessions, just say I missed the session. I don't need an excuse. We all have lives. I get it. It gets in the way sometimes. So just say missed it. Do your best to keep up though with the readings and my suggestions and the discussions. We'll just start a discussion this week. I want to know what your relationship is to Shakespeare. Do you have one? What I get mostly is Romeo and Juliet because everybody kind of knows that from high school. Is that as far as it goes? You've never seen a Shakespeare play or movie, read one besides Romeo and Juliet? Just I'll post it today. Tell me what your relationship, if you have one, with Shakespeare. And does he matter in your life? Is it meaningless? Do you want to learn more? And then in the discussion, make a nice comment, honest comment, truthful comment, and then comment on another student's comment and make it a conversation. It is called a discussion. And so just don't comment on somebody's discussion by saying, "Hey, I agree with you," and that's the end of your discussion. And that kind of stops the so there's all that. I'll post that later. It's not on there now yet. Um, because I don't have an office, especially in the pandemic. But my office hours are really flexible, folks. All you have to do is text me or email me, and we'll set up a face to face thing like this, a Zoom call. We can do FaceTime or a phone call. I'm here if you need it. I'm pretty uh, scheduling. So if you're having issues um, with anything, the assignments, personal issues, please don't hesitate to contact me and we'll get together and have a one on one chat. Um, Today, I want to talk about Shakespeare and how important he was, still is. I posted a documentary in modules, so please check that out. Maybe we talk about Shakespeare this whole week because he's that important. William Shakespeare, playwright extraordinaire, but not just a playwright, a humanist, uh, somebody who looks into our who we are. Now, he was writing 500 years ago, the 1500s. The world was a different place. But when you read his plays or you see his movies from the plays, nothing's really changed except for the fashion, the hairstyles. They didn't have social media in those days, but they had their way to get the things out and about, word of mouth. And these plays were one of them. And he was successful in his lifetime, which is rare for an artist. He had a nice house, lived in a nice place, was famous and popular in his day, and this is long before social media. So it was all word of mouth, and people had to come to see his plays to understand his why he matters. Shakespeare, people there's some controversy around his um, some of his legacy. Some people think other playwrights, like Marlowe is one of them, perhaps wrote these plays. It's been mostly disproven over the years. And if you read any Marlowe plays, maybe you will one day. Uh, they're not the same. Shakespeare's on a whole different level. Now, was he friends with these folks? Yeah. Was he competitive with them? Absolutely. Was he drinking buddies with some of them? Sure. And so that's where this thing that maybe he didn't write all these plays because he wrote a lot of plays, folks. And for a guy who never left his hometown, it's hard to believe he could write these historical plays based in other countries and other historical areas that he didn't live through. Very learned man, very skilled man, but his talent was finding the connections that connects all of us. And that is universal. Really change, folks. We're still the same way we were in the cave. We have dreams, we have hopes, we lie, we steal, we cheat, we do some things that we're not proud of, we do some heroic things, we live a good life, we live that's a good life in his time, which was a very early prosperous time of the Renaissance. The printing was well on its way. People could copies of the plays. More people knew how to read than ever before. These plays were so popular, they were essentially they were the Star Wars of their time. That's how popular it was to them because they were seeing themselves up there on the stage. The humanity of who we are was on that stage. I'll post a little thing on Hamlet later on, which is perhaps maybe the greatest piece of literature ever written. Maybe I'm not there. I'm not. Don't take my word for it, folks. You can research it. This is just not my because corruption in politics is all around us. Look what's going on right now with the war we're dealing with in Ukraine. These are Shakespearean times. Trails, war, lust, greed, ego, death, destruction. These are total Shakespearean times. And that's what he was writing about. And that's why he never goes out of style. There's a brand new Macbeth out this year. Will you see it? I hope you do. It's in black and white. I've seen it. It's in black and white, which you probably do not like, but you need to get over that because black and white is the holy truth. Denzel Washington as a black Macbeth. That's never been done before. Francis McDormand is Lady Macbeth, and they are doing a power grab through murder. Filmed really poetically. By Maybe you know the Coen brothers from Big Lebowski and so many more. They've kind of separated for a while. So the older brother directed this beautiful to look at. That's very um, what I would say uh, um, yeah, understand movie. It's very uh, theatrical. Lighting, it's all done on sound stages, so it's not even though it looks like it's outside, it is, it's all very uh, um, who are we? Why do we matter? Is this somebody contemplating taking